So I want to talk about CryptoTab, the big CryptoTab scam or the promotion scam. I got a question yesterday on one of my videos, and it was a full exchange. And unfortunately, it's been deleted by the person who wrote that, and it's unfortunate because I was going to go through, and it's kind of wild that he deleted it. To be honest with you, I thought I don't understand the maturity level. Like, why would you delete that? He actually, his second to last comment was, "Hey, I don't want to argue with you," and it was crazy because I didn't realize that you know how text, right? Like things like sarcasm and things don't get picked up in text. But the reason I wanted to reference it is because I was trying to clarify what I was saying in his comments based on his questions, and I don't know if he didn't believe what I was saying, or I don't know if he didn't understand what I was saying. But yesterday I was talking about CryptoTab. Now let me explain a couple things about CryptoTab. First of all, I don't think that some of the videos online are very fair or accurate. I think there are some videos that are just fishing for affiliates and they'll say anything. I have seen some videos, at least a couple, where it's kind of blatant if you kind of watch what's going on in the background. Like they're saying one thing, for example, they're saying, you know, hey, we're promoting it here, but then you kind of see something else running in the background, right? You know, it's kind of like if I was to tell you, hey, I don't, you know, I only believe in Ethereum, I'm an Ethereum maximalist, or even I'm a Bitcoin maximalist, you know, da da da, and you see like my TronLink wallet up here, and you're thinking, okay. And so, especially if I was to open a TronLink wallet and you saw a balance there, right? You're like, okay, Bitcoin maximalist, Ethereum maximalist, but you got Tron, right? But I don't say that. So when you know what to look for, so I've actually seen that on something similar on other videos where they're saying one thing, but you can see something on their screen that they don't ever mention, and you're like, but I don't think I'm getting the full piece of that puzzle. Especially when I've tested what they're talking about and I've gotten some good results, but not to the level that they're claiming. Do you follow me? And I'm not trying to say that, you know, people are okay, maybe they are misleading. I don't know that people are being malicious, but you know, it's not fully accurate. So I'm trying to get some good CryptoTab training out there, and ultimately, what here's what happened when I saw CryptoTab. This was a no-brainer for me. Years ago, like in high school, there was a company out there that was marketing a product, and they would basically pay you pennies. You have to understand, in high school, I was always like ambitious, always trying to find a way to do something to earn extra income. I was a kid that was cutting grass in the neighborhood and you know, doing whatever, right? Lemonade stands when I was even younger. So there was this company that would pay you. It was back when the internet boom was kind of a thing, and everybody was trying to make money on internet advertising. And the way this company worked is they paid you a few pennies to run an ad, and it basically was this browser bar that sat up on the top of your screen. It was ugly. It impeded your web surfing and everything, but they paid you a few pennies, you know, to have that bar on your screen. And they created a model similar to this where you got paid off of affiliates down like multiple tiers. So you got paid on these affiliates. Well, I watched one particular guy build it over time, watching, you know, his emails, watching what he was doing, and back then he didn't have YouTube, and I watched him build it to the point that it got to $100,000 a year. And in one respect, it made sense. For anyone who is ambitious and didn't mind their internet getting impeded a little bit and you wanted to be able to grow something, it didn't actually cost you anything outside of putting the software up there. So in that respect, it made sense. In that respect, it was a little bit viral of a process to be able to build. Eventually, the company wasn't solvent or whatever. You know, they couldn't make money. You know, they went out of business. So when I saw CryptoTab, obviously it took me back to that time. And I was like, interesting, except this doesn't impede with your internet activity at all. It's in crypto. Obviously, I'm passionate about crypto. And up until then, the only thing I was familiar with were like Bitcoin faucets for people to make small Satoshis. But you have to go there every day or every hour or however often and collect micro Satoshis. Yet here's something where you can log in and literally start making Satoshi just for downloading the CryptoTab browser. I'll put a link in the description. Just download it and start using it. And then when other people find out about it, promoting it, talking about it, you can grow a like affiliate group of other people who are mining, and you're going to earn a small override. Now, by the way, and it's fair. It's not like you're making, 75% of what this guy's making. You make 15%, 10%, 5, and then it goes all the way down here. Down here is like 0.01% or something. So, but it grows over time. And the first thing that happened is I saw this thing actually have a little bit of organic growth. I saw it have a little bit of organic growth. So I was just checking how many miners I had yesterday. I always watch my active miners because ultimately I want to see this trend upward. And this number will continue to grow throughout the day. So by later today, it resets later in the afternoon. It should be closer to 500 or higher. But anyway, so I saw some organic growth happening. But here's the thing. After a while, I got tired of talking about it, and I wasn't messing with it so much. I promoted it a little bit, and the way that I promoted it was I would get 5,000 Satoshi, and I would withdraw it, and I'd promote it on various Bitcoin advertising websites, which I've talked about that on my channel before. And it grew kind of slow, but it did grow. And I thought, wow, there's something here. And I at first had these big visions, these big dreams, like just keep promoting this thing, just keep growing it and grow it and grow it and grow it. What happened was I realized some of the better advertising networks, you had to have a lot more Bitcoin to deposit. Like there's one out there, I think it's Coin Traffic. You got to have like $300 worth of Bitcoin. I was only pulling CryptoTab Satoshis. So I only built this with, I would only make withdrawals. In fact, you can come see. I would only make withdrawals. Here you go. I would only make withdrawals back then, at 2,200, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000. But by the way, those are starting to be a couple weeks apart. And then 41,000, 41,000, 41,000, 100,000, 116,000. And I started making withdrawals only at 100,000. And eventually I just kind of got bored with it a little bit. 100,000 Satoshis is about $10 when Bitcoin's priced at about $10,000, which has been around that mark, $8,000 to $12,000 since I've been promoting CryptoTab. So I kind of got tired and I kind of stopped it. And I want to show you something. Because this is to the commenter's question yesterday. So from February 10th, I stopped promoting this. I promoted it for off and on for about a year, just doing withdrawals, making videos, promoting on Bitcoin advertising networks. And then in about February, I stopped talking about it. At that point, his question yesterday was, what he said was, he basically said something to the effect of, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. And I responded, what do you mean? It doesn't cost anything to necessarily build. You don't have to spend a lot of money to build this. And he goes, I said, I made a $331 withdrawal, which is what it was worth at the time, right here at $10,000 Bitcoin. That's $331. I made a whole video on that. I said, I made a $331 withdrawal and it didn't cost me anything. And he came back and he's like, well, I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just saying, you spent something to make the $331. No, I didn't. I spent all of this prior to the $331. That's how I got to the $331. From September, here's what happened, and this was my aha moment. From February to September, I did nothing to promote CryptoTab, meaning I did none of my own advertising. And I watched my active affiliates kind of go up and down, and I would say they probably slowly trended down a little bit. But what was crazy is I saw that I just kept earning. I just kept earning. And I wasn't doing anything. And I thought, what if I really found a way to build this? What if I would have just kept doing what I was doing from February to September? What if every week or so I was making 100,000, every 2 weeks making 100,000 Satoshi withdrawal? And by the way, I'm just now getting back to where I was, because if you go down here, you'll see that I was making 100,000 Satoshi withdrawal almost every week on a lot of weeks. I just now am getting back to that. In fact, I think I'm just past it right now. I think I might make my next 100,000 Satoshi withdrawal in about, my last one was on the 30th. So I'm hoping on like in 9 days, I'll be able to do another 100,000 Satoshi withdrawal. And that will means that I've got more active miners now than when I finally stopped way back here. So I'm slowly building up past that. But my point being, what if I would have kept advertising right here? What if this would have been 450? What was that, 4.5 million Satoshi? What if it would have been 5 million Satoshi? What if? And what if I could have found a way to actually get the gold standard? Meaning right now, let me show you something. Right now, hang on. So right now I'm testing, and in the last video I was talking about testing AdFly, and I'm still running that test, by the way, and I'm going to release it to my email subscribers. You can click down below and subscribe to my email passive strategy newsletter. I mean Bitcoin, cryptocurrency passive strategy newsletter. So, and I'm going to release the results there. But right now what I'm doing is I'm kind of doing this thing where this is all like self-contained. I'm taking Satoshi and let's see. It's like one closed circle, for lack of better terms. I'm basically taking Satoshi from CryptoTab. Let's do this. I'm taking Satoshi from CryptoTab, and I'm using that Satoshi to advertise, plus my time. And this is part of a free method that I have, and I'm going to cover that method at some point. But what I'm currently thinking about doing is finding a way to be able to grow CryptoTab without having to use the Satoshi at all. And this is something that I'm going to just kind of experiment with over the next year or so. It'll take some time. But basically, the idea is, for example, be able to advertise, be able to build a list, and earn revenue to cover all of this, all independently for itself. Now, what will I do once I build that list? Advertise CryptoTab, of course. Now, I have a whole idea of how I want to create like a crypto list, but the easiest thing to do, and I'm going to experiment, and I may talk about it on this channel, I may not, but I'm going to until I find out some results. I don't know. I may talk about it because it's kind of fun to talk about raw stuff as is happening on this channel. There's one or two or three done for you type systems out there in the make money online space. And truthfully, they are overhyped as they're going to make you $1 million, and none of them will make you $1 million. But there are a couple out there that can be break even or make you a few $100s a month. And even at break even, I'm going to be able to build a list to promote, for example, CryptoTab. And then all the CryptoTabs, I'm not going to be using those Satoshi for anything. I could just 100% withdraw them. So that's kind of where I'm going right now. I'm just looking for good advertising networks that I can ideally share and talk about, that we can actually just advertise, withdraw Satoshi, advertise, withdraw Satoshi, advertise. Or even if we use a little bit of our own outside fiat, we're able to eventually see a return on that fiat. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So this is like the first method that I've experimented with, withdrawing advertising. Is there a way to use your Satoshi, withdraw it, and advertise somewhere else? And there is. That's part of the free method. The next method right here in the middle is kind of the paid method, if you will. That's where you bring USD in, advertise somewhere, which is what I'm doing on AdFly right now, and seeing if I can get a return on that. I will tell you, I think most people who have done AdFly videos have not gotten a return. And I think it's for a couple of reasons. It may be because it's not as effective as they promoted. It may be because it's not as effective as it once was. Or part of it is they didn't understand. I've built affiliate programs over the years. And a lot of times when you have a low reoccurring income affiliate offer, like something like CryptoTab, which is one of the most passive, most stable recurring affiliate programs I've ever seen on the planet. That's one of the things that gets me so excited. The idea, most of the time, people talk about recurring income. The moment that you stop building it, the income drops. Always 100% of the time. Nobody talks about that. If you owned an insurance company, you went out and got 1 million customers, but you stopped getting customers, slowly, customers are going to change companies and die. That's just what's going to happen. And so it's an income that continues to go down, drift down. Nobody talks about that, by the way. But what happens is a lot of times people will like work really hard in the beginning. They're like, oh, I'm not seeing a return. And they don't realize that no. You don't know how to see your return. There are things happening that are showing that you're going to get a return. You're not tracking it properly to realize that. I have watched several YouTube videos where they were putting in large amounts of money, for example, on AdFly, and either AdFly didn't work the way they presented it, which I think it did, because a lot of these YouTube channels are really, really small. So they weren't getting a ton of referrals from their YouTube channels. That's why a lot of them stopped. They didn't keep going with their YouTube channels because a lot of the YouTube channels are old. But probably what happened is they didn't know how to build. They didn't know how to see the growth and be able to capitalize on that. Now, I'm trying to test AdFly right now to see if it's still going to work. And if it's still going to work, then it's a matter of understanding how to ramp it up in a way that can be cost effective. The verdict's still out on that. I'm testing a lot of advertising networks, and it's going to take time because you want to go slow with something like this, because just because you can make it profitable by doing the low cost free method, just because you can do that, and I'm going to be covering that here soon, just because you can do the low cost free method doesn't mean that you can scale it to anything super sizable. What you ultimately want to be able to do is to be able to find people, like would be on this list, who are willing to spend money to grow something. And then the great thing about the work from what I like about this strategy is you're bringing new people into cryptocurrency. So then it's having a strategy of being able to show them how they can advertise, a system in place, create a kind of a systemized approach where, hey, you can advertise, and when you advertise, you're going to grow your network. Now, invariably, people are always like, oh, you can't do that because, if everybody starts advertising in the same places, blah, 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 blah. Listen, chillax. I understand. Been doing this my entire adult life. Like, I get it. What I can do is create duplicatable systems. It's part of what I've done in business development. I get it. I've done it online and offline. I do know how to do that if I can find the right product and the right strategy to do this. So I'm doing this totally independent of what I've ever done before. So it's basically like you're watching me kind of sort of test a new offer live in cryptocurrency, which is really interesting. So we'll have to see what happens. It will be able to ultimately scale, because this right here will allow it to scale, because you're going to teach people to build a list independently of this. So when they later on start talking to that list, promoting things to that list, it's a different list than what you currently have, ideally. So you're not even talking to the same people, you're not talking to the same audience, et cetera, et cetera. It's just like what I do on some of my YouTube videos. Those of you that are YouTubers, crypto YouTubers, here's a strategy. Don't directly talk about something. For example, Blaze economy was something that I used to like to talk about, and I may talk about it again here in the future. They've had some new developments, but a lot of times what I will do is I won't make a video and title it Blaze economy. I may title it, new DApp or new changes to an old DApp. Why? Because it's going to get a different audience looking at the video than would normally look at it if you just titled it Blaze economy. And people don't even know what that is unless they're already a part of Blaze economy. Like, I will probably title this video CryptoTab, but this particular video, I won't always do that. If you want to find new eyeballs, you've got to find a way to get in front of them with a fresh perspective. And that's the long-term strategy here. Hope I didn't confuse you. That's kind of what I'm working towards. That's kind of what I'm looking at. But for now, I'm just advertising, running my test on AdFly. We're going to see how that works. If you want to get started with CryptoTab Browser, go ahead and click the link below. Also, if you want to, and all that's going to do, by the way, outside of helping you, is it's just going to help me grow my Satoshi so I can do more testing. Because ideally, I want to get to the place that hopefully I can withdraw 100,000 Satoshi a day. I'll be able to test a lot of different places, a lot more often, a lot faster. I'll be able to see what's working. And that's really what I'm looking to be able to do. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Also, you can subscribe down to our cryptocurrency passive strategy newsletter down in the comments, down in the description. Thank you so much for watching.